So I've got these two styles of ribs, and I want to treat them a little differently. The side ribs, I'm going to put on a dry rub, and the side ribs are going to take a little longer to cook, and those flavors will really get into the ribs. Now, I'm also going to put the same dry rub on the back ribs here, but then the last 20 minutes, half hour of cooking, I'm going to have Michael baste them with a barbecue sauce that I'm making. First, for my dry rub, I'm putting in half a cup each of coriander and cumin seeds. And I'm going to turn on the heat on medium, give them a little toss, and I just need to lightly toast these for a few minutes. I don't typically use dried herbs in my cooking, but I do find dried oregano in this rub really does amazingly well. I'm going to put a cup of paprika. Now, something else I add to the mix quite a bit of is salt. I am going to pour in a full half cup of fine salt here. I also ground in my spice mill a quarter cup of black pepper. It's all got to be freshly ground. Now, all of a sudden, the coriander and cumin seed smell different and toasty and rich. When I first put them in the pan, it was a little higher, a little more delicate. Now it's rich and earthy. Now, before I grind these in the grinder, I want to put in a couple of cinnamon sticks and get them processed a bit. Again, taking whole spices and breaking them down. I'm going to pulse the cinnamon first, just because it's a little more coarse, and then fit in some of the spices. They're not terribly hot. Wow, these spices are so fragrant. Now that's a lot of rub. Time to get messy. Now I've got to remove this connective tissue or membrane on the back of the ribs. Even though I'm slow cooking the ribs, this will never break down or become more tender, so it's got to come off. I want to do some really sticky ribs. The baby back ribs are going to have this barbecue sauce. Using white vinegar or cider vinegar in a barbecue sauce is just fine. There's so many flavors going on that to use champagne vinegar or red or white wine vinegar would just be a waste. Save that for the vinaigrette. 2 cups of tomato puree. Some dark brown sugar. I'm going to add that right to the pot. I like adding molasses to the barbecue sauce. It is a bit of a staple, and it adds sweetness, just like the brown sugar, but there's a complexity to it. And the flavor it adds on top of just sweetness is almost like caramelization. Pour this in. So I'm going to simmer this barbecue sauce for about 5 minutes, but it's not going to go on the ribs until the guests arrive. Now I've got one more ingredient. Apricot jam. This is my little secret. Once you start licking your fingers, when you've had one of those saucy ribs, oh yeah, you'll be having more than one. I want to add some onion and garlic. Again, those are staples in a barbecue sauce. So I'm going to bring the sauce up to a full simmer, let it go for about 5 minutes, stir it once or twice, take it off the heat, and then I will take my platters of ribs out back to Michael. Hope he's got those coals just right. Hey, honey.
Hello.
How about some ribs?
Oh my goodness. They look great.
Well, you need to start with the side ribs, right?
Yeah.
Because they take a little longer.
No, yeah, half an hour maybe.
Now, how's the fire doing?
Doesn't it smell great?
Yes.
It's going really well. It was really hot, so I let it kind of burn down a bit, spread it out. And I'm going to sort of favor it to the right so I can build sort of a convection curd in there to get the air rolling.
Well, we're so lucky we have such a beautiful day for the
gorgeous.
party.
Yeah.
But you would have been okay cooking them in the oven, wouldn't you?
Yeah, a little higher temperature, but it's that nice gentle heat that really makes these guys
These
sing.
are going to be so good.